Hi, thank you for joining me again. It's nice to meet you. Today I have been preparing some dried flowers. So this is quite a long process. It can take a couple of weeks to actually get all of this nice and dry, okay? So we've had plenty of sunshine, and actually that's worked very well to get these nice and dry. So I'm going to cut some of these where they've been hanging in the house area, okay? We have a big variety here. This is called Hypericum, and you can see that it has these really beautiful little berries, which are really good for flower arranging. So I'm going to keep some of these to one side over here, and let's go through a few more. And I always think the containers that you use are so important. So this is, as you can probably tell, this is an old coffee pot, but it has a lovely resonance to it, and I just think it's cool to put things into containers like this for a bit of variety, basically. So let's put that over the back and work through what we have here. Just tease them apart very gently. So this is a type of composite, we would call it in the garden. Some people might consider this to be a weed, but actually I don't think it is, because it's very good for wildlife, and as you can see, when it's dried, it almost has like a sort of gypsophila feel to it. So this is quite a long, big stem, so I will probably start to put some of those at the back, and some grasses, always lovely to use because they're just so fluffy and soft, and they just have a lovely texture to them. So we'll put those over to one side as well. I have a whole batch of them here. So this is some grasses, and there's also some more composites in here as well. Okay. The main task is just to get them a bit organised. I found this. It's very prickly. It's very prickly. It's a teasel. So it's a teasel head. Always try and leave some if you can, obviously for nature and wildlife, but the odd one or two is nice as maybe a centerpiece in the display. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, so I have the final batch here, which includes some lavender, dried lavender, some more grasses, and some persicara, which you may remember from last time was what I really enjoyed using for the display. Yeah, okay, good. You may have also noticed that I have this is very small, so I may not use it unless I can just sort of pop it in the front somewhere. So it's actually a piece of dried amaranthus, which is really nice to use because it has this beautiful deep burgundy colour. It's really nice, but it is a bit short, but I can always wire it and pop it in. So yeah, I'll probably do that. And I also have this is actually fennel. It's a fennel flower head from the garden, so it has a very fluffy texture. I really like it. I think it's cool, really cool. Okay, so action time. I think we can start with, we'll start with some of this to begin with. Okay, I'm going to keep it in kind of little clumps, and I would quite like my teasel, prickly little fella, to be in the middle, so I might start working a bit like that. Okay, so I love these grasses. I'm going to try and work, you know, going one direction to just keep building up on it. Some lavender, very nice. It's got such a beautiful smell. Very good for bringing down those stress levels and keeping nice and calm. Let's put some more. Try and keep a kind of symmetrical layer as you're going round. So I think we can have, let's have another bit here. Okay. Really trying to keep this teasel in the middle, but you know, you can cheat. If you have to pop it in at the end in the middle, you can do that as well. Yeah, so okay, let's put that in there. I'd like another piece of lavender, maybe over here. It's looking really pretty, I think. And then they are quite sort of a bit sticky to each other. So this is another great example of the Veronica that I was mentioning. It's really, this has retained some of its beautiful purple, which is nice. So we're going to put this in here. So remember the remember the composites that we had and the grasses over on this pile. So let's just add a bit more of that here. Yeah, it's taking shape. And this is another composite that we can use. Very fluffy. I love it. It has a very delicate yellow colour to it, which goes nicely. Okay. It's really just a nice opportunity to sit and it's very tactile, very tactile. Okay. So let's keep building up on this. Good. Okay. This is a nice bit there. Try to keep some colour tones working through it to just give the eye a little bit of direction. If you can sort of match things in either side as you go around, it's nice to do. Okay, I think we could start to move around to the smaller pieces. So now we're getting a shape. So what started out as looking a bit messy starts to display each stem really well. Yeah, I hope you agree. What do you think so far? It's quite a nice natural look. This is going to sort of go into autumn as a display, so it's quite nice to have a little bit of a reference to autumnal berries and flowers and things. Good. Things there. And I think we could probably add, let's do one more hypericum berry in there. Maybe we'll come back to the rest of the berries. So a little bit more fluff, a little bit more fluff could be good here. So we're going to add the grasses in, the rest of the grasses. Yeah. Okay, there's another piece of lavender. So actually we see all of the stems we want being displayed. This is the idea. Okay, so yeah, this is good. Okay, I think we could use another piece of hypericum here, and then, right, let's start by tying this, because I don't want it to get too unruly. Okay, so we've got height, we've got structure, we've got individual things on display. This is good. So I think you can start to see how it might look. Now obviously if you wire go as low as you can on the stem to give it that height, and then twist both pieces round in one direction. quite securely. Sits a bit longer, so you can pop it in like that. Okay, you can cheat. Then we can think about our height, or how high we want it to be. Okay. Good. Okay. So now we have a very nice looking dried bouquet. I like the fact that my teasel is still on show because I really wanted that to be a bit of a focus. So I have to be brave and I have to cut it a little bit now. So they're quite tough stems. You have to kind of get them individually. So you can make it sit nicely. Okay. You could make it a bit shorter if you wanted, or you could keep it quite tall. It's up to you. So yeah, you can pop it over the back here. I think we're done.